Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So our theme for this week, we are taking some inspiration from the amazing spring weather that we finally have. Hopefully you're getting a chance to enjoy it outside, maybe taking a book along with you, because what we are doing this week is we are exploring books that have flowers on their covers, because now is the time that we are starting to see the amazing flowers come out. We're seeing the blooms on the trees, so why can't we celebrate that with some flowers on the cover of our books? And because of that, we have a whole complete mishmash of genres, themes, a little bit of something for everyone. Again, the common theme is there's some flowers on the cover, so let's get started. Our first one is The Belle. So this is set in the Kingdom of Orleans. It is there that they have a myth about the goddess of beauty, and that when she falls in love with the god of the sky, he soon grows jealous of all of the attention that she showers on her children, who were the first humans. And because he is so enraged with this jealousy, he decides he's going to punish the goddess of beauty, and he does that in such a way that he punishes the humans by making them colorless and ugly. In retaliation to this, the goddess of beauty decides to make a group of individuals who would become known as the Belles. And they are known for their beauty, and they are this huge commodity that people want. And they are born this way, they get trained this way, and when they are 16, they are then placed, almost there's like bids on them to enter specific houses. This is where Camellia enters with her 5 sisters. They are all turning 16 and they are blessed to be Belles, and they are getting ready to enter society. This is their chance. They're going to make this move. Now, Camellia really wants to have a placement in the royal household. That position is considered to be the favorite. And she goes, she has her audition, she thinks everything goes great, and then she is shocked and stunned to find out that she doesn't get the position. One of her sisters named Amber does instead. She's heartbroken. Instead, she finds herself working in this tea house, but she is soon summoned to the court to replace her sister in the position that Amber was in. But no one seems to know what happens to Amber, or they don't tell Camellia. All of a sudden, she finds herself in this position that she can't imagine, and then she is seeing and learning things that she never thought true or possible. And as she starts to have her eyes open more, she starts thinking about things she never thought possible about the history she thought she always knew. This is the first in a completed duology, so the second book is already out. If you like fantasy with some court intrigue, some mystery, and if you like Scott Westerfeld's The Ugly series, you will totally love this one. You need to read this one. This is The Belles. Our next one is And I Darken. It is the mid-1400s, and siblings Lada and Radu, they're living in Wallachia, which is now modern-day Romania, and their father is the crown prince, Vlad Dracula. And in order to strengthen and secure his throne, Vlad sends Lada and Radu as hostages to the Ottoman Empire. Because if they have these kids, chances are they're not going to do anything to him, he's not going to do anything to them. They are then forced to survive in a place where they know no one, and no one cares, honestly, if they live or die. You know, it is what it is. When they become friends with an Ottoman prince named Mehmet, they become inseparable, and all of a sudden the 3 of them, they grow closer than they ever thought, and their lives start to change in ways they never could have imagined, with Radu converting to Islam and Lada trying to figure out who she is in this place where women's rights are very limited and their options are almost non-existent. There are parts that do drag a bit in this, but there are parts that do not shy away from the brutality of the time period. Everything does pay off, though, in this historical action thriller, and it's one that you'll want to finish and then read the sequel. It's the first in a completed trilogy. They're all out, so you're going to want to know what happens as soon as you finish this one, because there is a cliffhanger. Maybe get the second one when you get this one. This is And I Darken. Tyler Johnson was here. Marvin and Tyler are identical twin brothers who, now at 17, are really starting to drift apart more than ever before. And they seem to be on two completely different paths, which is hard for Marvin. He's gotten a scholarship to MIT. He's going there in the fall. He has dreams of being a scientist. And Tyler has kind of given up on school. And he's joined a gang in their neighborhood. Now, Marvin and Tyler know firsthand, both of them, what life can be, especially if you are a black male. You know, their father has been in jail. They've been raised by their single mother, basically, even though they're married. He's been in jail. He hasn't been around to raise them. Plus, they've also even been involved in incidents where guns have been drawn on them by police officers. So Marvin and Tyler, they know the realities of what they have to live in. Following Tyler one night to a party, Marvin is there when this gang fight erupts and shots are fired, and then there's all this commotion and everyone's rushing, everyone's trying to leave, and he cannot find Tyler. Soon he learns that Tyler did not survive and he will never be coming home. As he's dealing with his grief through all of this, wondering what he could have done differently to help his brother, Marvin sees a video of the actual shooting, and he realizes that it's not another gang member who shot his brother, but instead it was a police officer. And Marvin decides it's going to be up to him to get justice for his brother in order to clear his brother's name. Because right now it's just this horrific gang shooting, and that wasn't the case. This realistic look at an event that happens far too often is one that is eye-opening, emotional, and you will be on this journey with Marvin every step of the way as he figures out who he is as an individual, who he is without his brother, and what a difference he can make. This is Tyler Johnson Was Here. All the Crooked Saints. It's 1962 in Beach Arroyo, Colorado, and it's there that the Storia family lives. Now, people come from all over the United States to this Mexican-American family that is filled with saints. Because the legend goes, they can cure their darkness. They can go to this family, there's a saint, they can cure the darkness, whatever woes they have, anything like that. But many times, miracles that do happen are not at all what is expected, with some pretty intense consequences. Even leaving people to stay at the ranch while they start figuring out this new reality. Now, in the center of all of this current family in 1962 are the Soria's cousins, leading with David, who is the current saint. He's the most powerful person in the family at the moment. Now, David does something he's never allowed to do. He falls in love with one of the pilgrims, one of the people who have come to his family for help. And again, this is a huge no-no. And it is then that his darkness starts to emerge. As the saint, if he's doing what he's supposed to, then this darkness isn't going to come out. But when he doesn't, his darkness starts to emerge and it starts taking over the whole land. It's going to be up to his two younger cousins, Beatrice and Joaquin, to help him as they set off this chain of events that will change everything in their community and their family and what they think of themselves and each other. And if you enjoy a story with some magical realism, an intricate plot, there's a ton of philosophical questions mixed in, will have you thinking. So if you like a thinking story, this standalone is a great choice. This is All the Crooked Saints. This Poison Heart. So Breezus has a supernatural gift. Whatever seed or plant she touches, it instantly goes into full bloom. Plus, she's also immune to the many poisons that come from plants. No one knows about this except her moms, especially since she doesn't have very good control over this skill yet, and there have been some mishaps that have happened. It is when her birth mother's sister, or her aunt, passes that everything changes for Breezus, because her aunt has left her estate to her. They're living in New York City. It's in Rhinebeck, which is in upstate New York. So Breezus and her mom decide they're going to leave New York City. They go to live on this estate in the country. And at first, everything is like a fairy tale. Breezus learns more about her family's past, their abilities, their secrets. She realizes that she isn't the only one with this and that there is more going on than what meets the eye. And it's going to be up to her in this place to uncover everything if she wants to know the truth about herself and her ability. If you like a good fantasy mystery, if you like supernatural twists, if you like learning about plants and flowers, there's some beautiful imagery in this one. This needs to be on your reading list. This is This Poison Heart. And our last one for today is an ebook, or we also have as an e-audio through Libby. This is Small Favors, and this retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, 18-year-old Ellery is the beekeeper's daughter, and they're living in this town called Amity Falls. And Amity Falls is in this valley, and it's surrounded by these woods. It's kind of all by itself. They rely on these huge supply chains that come through twice a year. And the legend goes that when the town was founded, that there were monsters living in the woods surrounding this town. And the founders had some run-ins with the monsters, and in order to try to keep everyone safe, they decide they're gonna around the perimeter of the town, they set up this these series of bells, bells on a string. So if you hear a bell go off, something's trying to cross into the town from the woods. Now, Ellery doesn't believe in this. But one day, when one of the supply caravans goes missing, word comes from the search party that the monsters have returned, and soon there are no supplies coming to the town. Remember, they depend on these two supply chains a year. One of them didn't make it. So their supplies start dwindling, people in the town start turning on one another, and things just go from bad to worse as grudges and secrets start to be unearthed. And it's going to be up to Ellery to protect her siblings and her farm as her parents leave to take care of another situation going on. And before she knows it, if Ellery is going to survive all this, she's going to have to make a deal that she doesn't know she's going to be able to keep her end up on. If you like a slow burn horror mixed in with a little bit of fantasy and some fairy tale elements, but I will tell you, this is a slow burn horror. It is a fairy tale retelling with a twist. You have to check this one out. Again, it is available on Libby as an ebook or an e-audio. This is Small Favors. Well, these are just 6 of the books we have here at the library that are inspired by our spring weather outside with all these amazing flowers and trees blooming. So I encourage you to come out. Get your spring feeling on with one of these books with some amazing flowers on the cover, or we can help you find whatever perfect book you're looking for. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you tune back next week when you have a whole new teen book spotlight.